Hello, I'm Chaitanya from CodeYourPassion, and this is the second video in my Java tutorial series. In this video, we're going to learn about how variables work. Variables are nothing but just placeholders. Let's see how it works in Java now. Well, to create a variable, we have to first say int x equals 4. And what this does, it says, okay, I'm going to create a variable with the name x and the type int. So that first part is the declaration part. Then we have to say, okay, then I'm going to set the value of the variable to be x, to be 4. And so what exactly is happening? Well, imagine the scenario where we have the tasks, and just doing homework is actually a simpler way of just saying some actions. So here, this would be doing homework, and this would be the actions or the value of doing homework. And so now, whenever I say doing homework or x, I will get the actions, or 4, which is the value. And as you can see, I got 4. And, well, another thing about variables is that this int means that the variable value has to be of type int. And here int means number or integer. And so if I say, well, a string is anything that is enclosed by double quotes, and it can have any characters in it. Let's say it can say hello world and then any numbers. This will be a functioning string, but as you can see, it's an error because it cannot convert from string to int. And so the problem is that we're setting a string to an int. We cannot do that. So to actually make this work, we have to change this type of this variable type to be string. And so now we're setting a string to a string. And so now printing this, I will get hello world 123 124. And that's exactly what I got here. So now that we understand how variables work, let's go over a simple use case for variables. So here, I want to be able to take input from the user and say, hello Chaitanya Aranki, you are 18 years old. So to do this, I want to take the first name and the last name from the user, and then the age of the user. And I also want to say hello Chaitanya in the next line. So we can assume that both of these are different pages in our website, and then in each of these pages I want to be able to access all of these variables. So let's see. So to start off with, let's start off by just saying sysout, and here we can write simple hello. And then now I already have this method here that gets the text from the user. And so it just prompts the user by saying enter text. And then whatever the text the user enters, we will get it back. And you don't really have to know the specifics of how either of these methods work, but you just have to know that just by calling get text from user with the open parentheses or close parentheses, it will work. And so now this will give me the first name, this line. And so now I need the second line, which will be the last name, which is from this. And then I say you are, and then I get the age, which now I use get number from user, because the age is a number, so I want a number. And as you can see, as we learned in the previous clip, that the type of a variable actually matters. So here I'm going to get an int, and here I'm going to get a string. Okay. And then it will say you are 18 years old. And so now this should work exactly as we want it to. So let's go ahead and now type the second line, which once again will say hello plus get text from user. So now when I run this, what happens is that it asks me for this text first. So I'm going to say my first name. Then it'll run this line first, the second. So I'll say Iranki again. Then it'll ask me for this, which says get number from user. Then I write 18. Then it says okay, that it prints this out, but then now it asks me for this again. So whenever I call this method, it's actually asking me to enter a number again, or enter some value again. And so I'm going to add enter Chaitanya again, and it says hello Chaitanya Aranki, and hello you Chaitanya Aranki, you are 18 years old. But the problem is I don't want to have to be asked enter text twice for the same value. You see, both of these I have to enter the same value. What if I can ask that just once, and then it's so much easier to just understand what exactly is happening. Okay, so to do this, I can actually create a variable that has the name first name, and whatever I get from user will be stored in this variable, and then instead of actually having to get text over and over again, we can just use that text that we got first. So I'm not going to be asking for the text that the user gives over and over again. And so here I should see that it won't prompt me for my name again. As you can see, I got both of them in just one sweep. And now the problem is that when I'm calling first name, I can easily see what this is doing, but what is this for? Well, it's for my last name, but when someone is editing your code and they don't know what your code is doing, this will be confusing. So to do this, to make this better, what we can do is we can say that this is the last name, so we can say get text from user, as we did for the first name, and then this will be stored in the last name variable. And then once again we can do the same thing for the age. So int age equals get number from user, and as you can see, the int and the string are different here. So when I say age, it will get me the number that the user put in. And so now, just doing this, we should get the exact same thing. So if I write Chaitanya Yaranki 18, I say hello Chaitanya Yaranki, you're 18 years old. But okay, now just imagine this. We're in a scenario where this represents a background for each and every page. So let's say that we wanted to change the background for each web page in our website. Well, right now we would have to go ahead and say for each and every page we have to go and change it. Well, we want this to be more flexible, and the way we can make this more flexible is by storing a variable and storing that in a variable. So now what we can do is say, well, this means hello, and this also is just hello. And now running this, we should get the exact same thing. But the cool part about this is that now we can just change this, or change the background color in one area, and the background color will change throughout the entire application. And now we can see this as, instead of getting hello, now we get hi. Exactly what we just changed in one area instead of both. From this we can see that variables have multiple purposes, with increasing readability and increasing flexibility. Because now with using one variable, we can change the entire application and save lots of time. Also, using variables, we can stop the repetition and make your code much more readable and easier to understand. This is Code Your Passion, and in this channel, we want you to code your passion in the fastest way possible. And to do this, you must experiment with variables and post in the comments what you find and what other use cases you think could be used for variables. I hope you enjoyed that video. If you did, please leave a like and share this video to other people. Also, subscribe to my channel for more updates on when I'm going to post new videos to my Java tutorial series. Thank you for watching.